Hello everyone, this is Mr. Brain Junkie here, and today we're going to be talking about a science fiction film called Cube. Be ready for some spoilers ahead. A man wakes up and finds himself in a strange room with glowing lights. He chooses to open one of the doors, only to see a similar room with different color. He proceeds to walk in carefully, not knowing what to expect. The man takes a step forward and feels something hit him very quickly. He starts bleeding everywhere as his body has been cut into little pieces by a trap with sharp wires. Sometime later, another man climbs out into a room with the name Quentin on his jacket and sees someone lying on the floor named Worth. He goes to open the door in front of him only to see an orange room that's identical. He closes the door and sees that Worth is conscious now but still a bit dizzy. They hear someone coming closer and Quentin ambushes the person as she walks in, throwing her on the floor. The woman's name is Holloway and she screams in terror as Quentin apologizes for spooking her. They quickly hear another voice screaming help from the neighboring room, and Quentin rushes to rescue the woman whose name is Levin and brings her to safety. She breaks her glasses when she enters and cowers in fear to the corner of the room. Quentin tells everyone to stay put as there are traps in the rooms which almost killed him earlier. Another man named Ren proceeds to open the door from the rooftop and enters by climbing down, but he seems rather calm unlike everybody else. He takes off one of his boots and throws it in the other room, only to be burned when it activates a motion sensor trap. Quentin tells everyone to stay put and collect themselves before doing anything rash. He wants to know if anyone remembers how they got here, but no one seems to recollect. They speculate about who or what built this place, but doesn't arrive to any useful conclusion. Ren suggests that they stop talking and focus on finding a way out using the boots as a safety measure, to which Quentin and the whole team agrees. They climb into a green room and hears a loud noise, almost like something is moving beside them. Ren thinks that it's probably the air vents and nothing to worry about. Levin notices upon entering every room that there are unique numbers on the doorway, but the numbers are in the millions and this could mean that there are millions of rooms. Holloway panics, realizing that they only have about 3 days without food and water before they're incapable of maintaining normal bodily functions. Ren gets annoyed at her whining and tells her to suck on a button on her clothing to keep her saliva flowing. They arrive before another room, but the old man tells them it's a trap as the air's dryness reveals a chemical sensor. Quentin wonders how the man can know so much about traps, then realizes from his name that he's actually a legendary escape artist. Ren tells them to follow his lead and focus only on what's in front of them from now on, or they will be left behind. He jumps in the room, but hears a click right beside him. The machine sprays a liquid on his face, causing him to scream in pain. The group tries to save him, but the liquid has already melted a hole in his face, killing the man. They feel hopeless as even the escape artist has died. Quentin stops everyone from giving up and tries to reassess the situation. He believes that everyone here must have a function as he's a police officer and Holloway a doctor. He wonders what Levin's purpose is, to which she says that she's only a student. Quentin notices that all their personal items were removed except for Levin's glasses, which must have been kept for a reason. He tells her to read the room numbers again, to which she realizes that all the rooms with prime numbers were trapped. It turns out that the girl is exceptional at math and has a photographic memory. They manage to successfully avoid all the rooms with traps by using Levin's methods. The group arrives in a room where all the doors lead to traps except for the door to the roof. Quentin climbs up to open the door, only to see a man drop right down on Levin, almost breaking her neck. His name is Kazan, but he doesn't seem to be all there as he hits himself on the head repeatedly. Holloway stops him and decides to take care of him while all the others believe that he's a burden to the group. Levin clears another room and Quentin jumps right into it, but he stops immediately as he sees something in front of him. The trap almost kills him, but Quentin manages to escape with only a cut on his leg. He tells Worth to shut up Kazan as he suffers in pain. Levin doesn't understand how her system can be wrong, and decides to work out the numbers while everyone rests. Quentin becomes suspicious of Worth as he's the only one who refused to help nor revealed what his job was prior to being here. He manages to trick Worth into talking and reveals that he actually worked on designing this place as a job, but only the outer shells. This angered everyone, especially the police officer, as he could have told them valuable information helping their escape. Worth tells Levin the precise dimension of the entire structure and that the outer shell takes the form of a cube. This makes her realize that the room numbers are actually Cartesian coordinates used to plot their locations, which tells them where they are in the building. With this information, Levin calculates that there are only 7 rooms from the outside. They move forward, but notices that all the exterior rooms are trapped. What's even weirder is that they arrived in a room where the coordinates tell them that they're outside of the cube, which clearly isn't possible. Not wanting to backtrack, they try to go through a room with traps that are activated by sound. They go through it carefully one by one, but Kazan shouts at the last minute, almost killing Quentin in the process. Furious at what happened, Quentin wants to get rid of Kazan, but Holloway refuses. The two gets into a fight where Holloway insinuates that Quentin is abusive and likes young girls, which prompts him to hit her across the face. Levin stops them from fighting and tells Worth to open the door to the outside. To their surprise, they only see darkness and a gap between the cube's exterior and the wall. Holloway volunteers to drop outside while the others hold her with a rope made from their jackets. She tries to leap towards the other side but nearly drops herself. Quentin manages to catch her, but in the last moment decides to drop her to her death. He lies to the group and tells them that Holloway slipped, but Levin runs in disbelief. While everyone is sleeping, Quentin brings the young girl to another room and tries to abandon everyone while seducing her, to which Levin rejects in disgust. Worth rushes in and tries to stop him, but is only thrown into another room like a rag doll by the police officer. Luckily, he didn't die from the fall nor the traps, but laughs hysterically as everyone comes down from the top. To their surprise, the group finds Ren's body in the room, implying that they have been going in circles. Everyone falls into despair as they have no idea what's going on. Worth decides to open another door on the wall and is shocked when he sees it's the outside again. This can't be possible since it used to be the trapped room that killed Ren in the first place. The only logical conclusion is that the rooms have been moving this whole time. Levin realizes that the room numbers not only tell them where they are, but also where it's going to be. She speculates that the room which placed them outside of the cube must have been a bridge that allows them to leave. However, it has to be the correct room and they have to be there at the correct time. She also figured out that the trap rooms are marked not by prime numbers, but rather by the power of a prime number. The problem is that there's no way she can calculate a number that is so large. Just when Quentin is fighting with Levin about factoring the numbers, Kazan shouts out the answers effortlessly. They realize that Kazan is actually a savant who can factor extremely large numbers, and they successfully confirm the safety for the next room. Quentin has lost his mind at this point and proceeds to throw Worth into the room while forcing Kazan and Levin to do the calculations. They try to lock him behind, but fails as the man is too strong. Worth manages to trick him by luring him into a room and dropping him below, apparently killing him as a result. They continue forwards, arriving in a room ahead of time and seeing the other cubes move into place. Levin and Worth cross through the doorway, but suddenly the room begins moving away, taking Kazan with it as well. Luckily, they still hear his voice after the movement was completed, suggesting that Kazan is not far away. Worth decides to bring him back and jumps into the room right on top of Kazan's. Worried about their safety and pacing around, Levin accidentally steps on a piece of glass, which she noticed that it came from her glasses when she broke it in the beginning. Worth manages to bring Kazan back and reunites with Levin just in time before their room moves again. When they get up, Levin opens the door only to see blackness outside. She tells Worth to not worry and wait for the cube to move into place. In fact, she tells them that they're currently in the room that they first started in. The final room acting as a bridge comes down from above, and Kazan confirms that it's void of traps. They go into the red room and Kazan opens the final door, showing bright lights leading to the outside. But Worth decides to stay here as he doesn't believe there is anything outside for him in the world full of human stupidity. Levin tries to convince him to leave, but suddenly she feels someone stab her from the back. It turns out that Quentin survived the fall and manages to make it back to their room as well. Worth tries to fight him, but gets beat up easily and stabbed in the stomach. Kazan opens the door and gets out while Quentin tries to follow behind. With one leg stuck in the doorway, Worth grabs onto Quentin while the room is moving away and rips his body into pieces. In his final moment, Worth crosses towards Levin, planning to die alongside her. Kazan, being the only one who survived, walks towards the bright light and vanishes. So what do you guys think about this movie? Let me know in the comments below. And if you like my video, please press like and subscribe for more. I'll see you guys next time.